Clan Smoke Jaguar. Like many of the clan warriors it represents, the predator for whom Clan Smoke Jaguar is named owes its existence to science tampering with nature. Its genes are those of the Terran jaguar, altered in the laboratory to enable it to survive in a harsher environment. Imported by Alexander Kerensky's followers to the world of Strana Mechti, the Smoke Jaguar thrived in the fertile jungles that teemed with suitable prey. Members of Clan Smoke Jaguar take fierce pride in their namesake, which the clan's revered founder Nicholas Kerensky chose for them. They believe that Nicholas modelled all of clan society on the Smoke Jaguar and point proudly to the above entry from one of his many journals in which he extols the beast's virtues. Modern-day Smoke Jaguars often quote from this journal entry, which they revere above all other literature, save for the clan's epic poem, The Remembrance. Remember Franklin Osis, father of his clan. 3 strengths he gave us: the jaguar's spring that brings the enemy down, the jaguar's claws that rend the enemy's heart, the jaguar's taste for the enemy's hot blood. The Remembrance, Clan Smoke Jaguar, passage 104, verse 18, lines 5 to 10. Clan Smoke Jaguar worships its namesake with fanatical fervour, so much so that its members have faithfully modelled every aspect of their society on the animal's behaviour. The Smoke Jaguars claimed the dubious distinction as the most bloodthirsty of the clans, with the wanton destruction of the city of Edo on the world of Turtle Bay. More than to the beast, however, the clan owes its bloodthirstiness to its first Khan, Franklin Osis. Franklin Osis gloried in every opportunity to face danger and conquer it through combat. At the urging of Nicholas Kerensky, Franklin began training as a mech warrior, and he soon outstripped his instructors in the ferocity and tenaciousness of his attacks. His fierceness both impressed and worried Nicholas, who feared that Osis might become nothing more than a killing machine unless he learned to control the rage that fueled his every battle. To that end, Nicholas singled him out for officers training. Franklin learned quickly, and within 2 years had risen to command a trinary in the newly forming Clan Smoke Jaguar. Not long afterward, Franklin's superior fighting skill and utter ruthlessness won him the position of Khan within his clan. Khan Franklin Osis led Clan Smoke Jaguar for 30 years, during which he consolidated the power of the warrior caste and fortified the Smoke Jaguar's position relative to the other clans. Shortly after the end of the Pentagon campaign, Khan Osis and his best warriors competed in trials of possession for almost every Brian cache remaining on Eden, and won more than half of them. When Nicholas Kerensky instituted the eugenics program throughout the warrior castes of all the clans, Khan Osis devised a stricter training system than any other clan save for Steel Viper for Clan Smoke Jaguar Sibcos, with deadlier results for those who failed. More than any other clan, even more than Ilkhan Kerensky, Franklin Osis glorified the art of war and those who practiced it, and shaped his clansmen accordingly. Despite his warlike bent, however, Osis acknowledged the usefulness of other endeavours. Though he valued the scientist, merchant, technician and labourer castes less than the warriors, he did value them insofar as their areas of expertise could advance warfare or aid those who waged it. The scientist might discover ways to make weapons more efficient or powerful, the technician could repair and improve upon the machines of war, the merchant provided the funds for scientific research and for buying material, and the labourer grew the food the warriors ate and manufactured the supplies they needed. All somehow served the warrior caste and deserved a certain share of honour for doing so. Toward the end of his life, Osis also began to see the need for at least a little peace, if only to give the warriors a breathing space between battles. To this day, Smoke Jaguar warriors often quote a saying attributed to their first Khan: "Like a favourite dish, war loses its flavour when tasted too often." Unfortunately, Franklin Osis's successors continued to glorify the clan warriors at the expense of other castes. During the decades of prosperity later known as the Golden Century, other clans grew wealthy while Clan Smoke Jaguar lagged behind. Though all the clans regarded the warrior caste as superior, most acknowledged the debt that warriors and the clans as a whole owed to the merchants, labourers, scientists and technicians who kept the rest of clan society functioning. The Smoke Jaguar warriors learned from a succession of short-sighted Khans to value the lower classes and castes less and less, finally scorning their very existence. Clan Smoke Jaguar valued only war in an era of relative peace, and so relegated itself to the economic sidelines. Unlike other clans, Smoke Jaguar failed to take advantage of the potential wealth available through colonisation and trade. They colonised far fewer worlds than Wolf, for example, and confined themselves to building military bases on the worlds they did possess. Fewer colony worlds meant access to fewer natural resources, depriving them not only of wealth but also of military advantages they might have gained by the use of those resources. Rather than developing their own sources of wealth, Clan Smoke Jaguar warriors took what they could from others. Throughout most of the Golden Century, the clan fought countless trials of possession over everything from Brian caches to prosperous colonies to genetic legacies, and won enough of these trials to support themselves. In one of the most militarily significant of these trials, Clan Smoke Jaguar warriors won possession of several omnimechs from Clan Coyote, long before many of the other clans had access to the more powerful machines. This technological edge helped to keep the Smoke Jaguars a prominent clan despite their relative lack of material wealth. The Jaguars' absorption of Clan Mongoose also significantly increased their assets. Mongoose earned the disdain of the other clans by consistently relying on political maneuvering to accomplish its ends, even attempting to sidestep a Grand Council ruling by citing the writings of Kerensky. The Jaguars won the absorption right and claimed all of the Mongoose planets and material, but never used any of the absorbed clans' genetic legacies, allowing Mongoose to fade into obscurity. This incident reinforced the view that Clan Smoke Jaguar's power rested on military prowess alone, and deepens the warrior caste's disdain for merchants and the lesser castes whose members spent no time on the battlefield. Historical record: Tukkayid. The bidding for the Battle of Tukkayid began on the 18th of April, with all the invading clans vying for the landing order and target cities they considered would win them the greatest glory. Led by Clan Smoke Jaguar, the Khans of the other invading clans concentrated on preventing Wolf from winning favourable battle conditions. The conspiracy apparently succeeded. Clan Wolf ended up landing 5 full days after the other clans, and won the right to attack the smallest and least defended cities. Khan Osis of Clan Smoke Jaguar rejoiced in having beaten the Wolves and also in having won the honour to be the first to set foot on Tukkayid. He believed that Comstar's Comguards would be easy pickings because Comstar had only shown the clans its pacifist side. The Jaguars' target cities also promised the clans great glory in the winning of them, as both lay in terrain heavily favouring the defender. Dinju Heights nestled in the Dinju Mountains, and Port Rassis lay near the treacherous ground of the Rassis River Delta. Refusing to listen to the Ilkhan's warnings about the dangers of scarce supplies, the Jaguar Khans landed woefully unprepared for the battlefield siege they were soon to face. Instead, the Jaguar Khans placed their faith in the ability of their galaxies to overwhelm all opposition with 2 swift, brutal strikes. Khan Osis led Alpha Galaxy, including the elite 6th Jaguar Dragoons and the Jaguar Grenadiers, into the Dinju Mountains. Meanwhile, Sarkhan Weaver and the Mistweaver's Galaxy landed in the marshes of the Rassis River Delta. Both Khans expected easy victory. Neither were to have it. The Dinju campaign began well for the clan. The 6th Jaguar Dragoons cut through the Comguard's Green 50th Division and easily secured Alpha Galaxy's drop site. When the Dragoons and the Jaguar Grenadiers began their march on Dinju Heights, they encountered only modest resistance from remnants of the 50th, whose light raids did little damage. The clan warriors advanced toward the seemingly undefended pass, confident of swiftly capturing the city that lay beyond. Unknown to the Jaguars, they were marching straight toward the heavier elements of Comguard's 299th Division hidden in the pass. Only the unclan-like caution of Star Colonel Brandon Howell saved the Jaguar Grenadiers from annihilation. Believing the undefended pass too good to be true, he sent 2 stars of the Grenadiers forward in a ploy to force any hidden Comguards into the open. He then ordered the rest of his omnimechs to hug the walls of the pass while moving forward at flank speed. Though the Grenadiers took heavy losses when the 299th sprung their trap, elements of the unit broke through Comguard forces to confront the 323rd Division on the doorstep of Dinju Heights. Not to be outdone by one of his own star colonels, Khan Osis attempted to lead his 6th Jaguar Dragoons on a similar charge through the pass. Unfortunately for the Dragoons, the remaining mechs of the 299th and 323rd Divisions were swarming all over the floor and the far end of the pass. The Dragoons took heavy casualties, and a Comguard mech warrior picked off Khan Osis with a well-placed laser shot against his battle armour. In the meantime, Sarkhan Weaver and the Mistweaver's omnimechs had bogged down close to the landing zone. The initial drop went well. The pools and marshes of the River Delta gave the Smoke Jaguar mechs and elementals a soft landing, inflicting few casualties than usual for such a manoeuvre. The Jaguars discovered, however, that wading through the swamps forced them to move at a painfully slow pace. Comguard mechs concealed in the Delta's deep pools and sluggish river channels repeatedly ambushed the Jaguars, negating both their clan weapon range advantage and superior heatsink technology. Ongoing artillery barrages herded the clan mechs ever deeper into the Delta, where still more Comguard mechs waited in ambush. Near the end of the 3rd day's march toward Port Rassis, the mechs of the Comguard's 207th Division surrounded the Galaxy's command star and launched a coordinated attack against its units. Khan Sarah Weaver died in the fighting when her Warhawk's fusion engine went critical. With the leaderless clan Smoke Jaguars facing the fresh troops of the Comguard's second army, Ilkhan Ulrich Kerensky ordered the Jaguars to retreat from Tukkayid. The dispirited warriors of the Mistweaver's galaxy obediently retreated toward their drop zone, but several of Alpha Galaxy's units refused. The 6th Jaguar Dragoons viewed Ilkhan Kerensky's orders as a Wolf Clan snub intended to erase the honour they had gained through the sacrifice of the Jaguar Grenadiers and the loss of Khan Osis. Proud and defiant, they continued their advance down the Dunju Pass, accompanied by several warriors from Alpha Galaxy's surviving clusters. The sheer numerical superiority of the Comguard forces in the pass, however, eventually overwhelmed them. Unable to fight their way back through the pass to aid their floundering companions, the few remaining warriors of the Jaguar Grenadiers launched a death or glory attack on Dunju Heights. The assault had no chance of success, but forced the Comguard's 82nd and 322nd Divisions to pull back into the city. With the Comguard's retreat, a few of the Grenadiers managed to escape back to their drop zone.